Hi, everybody, and welcome to my fan commentary on part 4 of our In Space saga of Power Rangers in Space, the last episode of that storyline, with how it started from To the 10th Power, to the Power of Pink, to protect the Quasar Saber, and now we are on episode 33 of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, where Karone faces the past, or facing the past, if you will, because it makes a lot more sense to conclude loose ties from last season to make sure that Lost Galaxy stays in continuity with the rest of Power Rangers' main universe. Now, this episode, I feel like in chronological order, when they did these episodes in production, I think they probably should have put Turn Up the Volume first and then save this going into the Lost Galaxy. Because if you go back and watch Enter the Lost Galaxy and it's previously on Power Rangers recap segment, they put footage of this episode right by it when this could have made more sense. And honestly, and now with Magnetox, as I've said for years, to date, this is Trakeena's most powerful monster yet in the season. Because honestly, of all the monsters she had while during her retaliatory campaign against the Rangers during this half of the series, and, well, of course, in between, when she started as the main villain for the rest of the season until Enter the Lost Galaxy, when we do start changing shift of the villain forces, and then when she comes back by the end of Escape the Lost Galaxy, honestly, Magnetox was probably one way to close out her time of taking down the Galaxy Rangers with something more formidable, because Decibat was okay of a monster with him and his subwoofer speakers being a force of destruction and danger upon Terra Venture and making things so loud that it will try to blow people's eardrums and hearing out. But Magnetox had something else going on with him in terms of what he's capable of to take down the Rangers. And it also makes sense now with them recycling the flashback footage that we've seen countless times from In Space with Andros and Karone when they were kids, and when Karone was kidnapped by Darkonda. And of course, in the flashback footage used for her in this, they had to use different grunting sounds of Darkonda since his original voice actor for him wasn't present. So they decided to have some random grumbler voice dubber for the, Darkonda coming up to her, kidnapping her, and, have us remind us of her past. Okay, well, since Karone may not be wearing anything pink, the only semblance of pink, as you see in the back of her hair in that one shot when she's talking to Leo, when the camera pans over to her still talking to Leo, the only thing pink is what's on her hair, that little hair piece that holds her hair together, that's pink. So that's the only pink thing she got going for her. Everything's just all black. And this is while this is also a Karone and Leo episode, I really do need to talk about the Battleizer. But we will get to there when we get to there in the next 18, 17 minutes going into the episode. Because honestly, I really, really have said this for years. And even, 12 years I've been doing this channel, and 10 years doing fan films of these Power Rangers, and here I am going on 5 years doing fan commentaries of old episodes. And I never really was a fan of Lost Galaxy's Battleizer for Leo. And when we get to it, and I have to talk about its design flaws and just how gaudy it looks, and they had to do it just to sell a toy, but there was also a story purpose, aside from in this episode's story. But when we get to the final episode of Lost Galaxy, when I talk about Journey's End later this year as of this commentary series, I kind of feel like I really need to talk a lot about the Battleizer, because to be honest though, I never really liked that Battleizer at all whatsoever. As much as I liked In Space's Battleizer, and with it being the first season to do Battleizers for Red Rangers, yes, this is also a Red Ranger episode, but it's still a Pink Ranger episode at the same time, so it's technically a Leo and Karone episode. Leo, it was evident that Leo was going to fall victim to Magnetox's first Ranger to go and have him lose his powers. Because damn, I kind of wish Trakina had Magnetox at the start of her campaign as main villain for this half of the season. It just makes me wonder. And then I thought Divatox, like unleashing Gold Goyle during the finale of Turbo was something. Magnetox was something for Trakina in terms of her monsters to take down the Rangers. That is just something. And like I said, I just kind of wish she had this monster earlier. And I guess this is part of her wanting her revenge against the Galaxy Rangers for destroying her dad. Yeah, I get it. In the original Sentai episode that Magnetox was from, it was really more about the Centaurus Megazord. And if you look at Magnetox's staff, Magnetox in the original Sentai episode had something relating to like kids or something, putting like mind control on them or something. And it was also a Magna Defender episode because, Bull Black episode, Hyuga, when Hyuga was still working with Kegler's counterpart during that little subplot for the rest of the Sentai. And honestly, I think they decided to do something best with that monster suit of Magnetox. Have him just drain the energy out of the Galaxy Ranger Sans Corone because she was just brand new. So having her losing her powers, if she loses the pink Galaxy powers, the Galaxy Rangers are screwed. Okay, the armor key as the source of the battleizer for the season, yeah, that's fine. But honestly, I'm not fond of the armor when we get to it. When we do see the armor on Leo, when we get to it. This is like the second or third time this season Leo has been getting his ass fucked up, and in the medical room of the Mega Show. That's kind of funny. Back in Magna Defender's debut episode, Leo got screwed up. He was in the medical room. Shark Attack, Leo got messed up and he's in the medical room. This episode, Leo gets fucked up and he's in the medical room. But at least but he just got bandages on his chest and bandages on his forehead. Oh my God, why does this keep happening to him? Now, this moment with Magnetox facing the three remaining Rangers and Mike as Magna Defender, I liked. So the next victims in line in this part is Kai and Maya losing their powers, and then when they get to the industrial side of the colony, then it's Mike and Damon that lose their powers. Man, I think this is what Trakina really wanted to do, is to knock the Rangers down and strip them of their powers. And but again, with her monster in full victory, this could have been like one of the things she always dreamt of: make the Rangers lose their powers and just cower away. And that's what she did when she sicked Magnetox first off on Leo and then on the rest, because Corone was just brand new to the team, even though she's already been established from last time, but just have her first time as a Ranger. And it's really messed up, really, that Magnetox is that freaking brutal, just having him just destroy the powers and trash the morphers, burn them up, and just suck the juice out of the transmorphers. Like, damn. The Galaxy Rangers' powers may be strong, but they're like, it's just the way how they may be that strong, but eventually when Leo does destroy the monster in the episode, somehow they do get their powers back. Don't worry about it. They will get it back, thanks to also not only him, but Corone. Now, that planet exterior looks so similar to Onyx. Not Miranoi in like later on, but oh my God. Okay, this is just like what we saw in the first Power Rangers movie. Dead skeletons of dead people or dead animals. I'm getting vibes of that Minotaur skeleton from the first movie all over again. And you know what's spooky? The talking skeleton. And yeah, it's so much like Army of Darkness. I'm telling you. I mean, of all the times I always wanted to fantasize of a Sam Raimi style Power Rangers movie or a Sam Raimi style Power Rangers Lost Galaxy movie before his Spider-Man movies. And something I've been envisioning for 22, 20, whatever fucking years, how many years it's been. I've been envisioning that. And not only that, okay, now we get to Astronema versus Corone, and this is the moment we all been waiting for too, is finally her facing her past. And that's why this episode lived up to that title, is her getting over, try to get rid of her past and move forward, because she doesn't want to go back being Astronema anymore, because now that her forces are gone since the Z wave, we needed to go ahead and retire Astronema and put an end to her time in the series. Yeah, it was great to see her again one last time fully until we get a little brief nod. Yes, don't worry, when we get to Legendary Battle in Super Mega Force, trust me. I'm glad she put the staff down, because she doesn't want to do this again. She does not want to do this being evil crap again. She just turned into a ranger. She does not want to do that. Well, that's it for Astronema, but don't worry, she will pay tribute to her past come, again, Legendary Battle. Well, the extended version anyway of that. And yeah, what's with that talking skeleton? Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, like, I knew that they were going to pull some freaking Army of Darkness or Tales from the Crypt kind of stuff in Power Rangers, but hey, it was the 90s. I mean, we've had shows, I've seen plenty of shows like that when I was a kid during this time and era with this kind of stuff as a kid. Okay? And yeah, I guess that's it for Talking Skeletons. Yeah, that's just brutal on Mike and Damon's morphers getting trashed. But again, this will happen also again with Mike as he loses his Magna Defender powers, but I am not going to talk about Escape the Lost Galaxy. I don't know about why Damon's tackling the monster. Does he even have any like experience of tackling people when he did football, or one of the few earlier traits like of him tackling a monster head on like a football player? And I've always joked about this, like how the monster beats the crap out of the black man of the group. Like, oh, you get the Negro. Like, they just cut the Negro in the back. This is like, oh my God. And that dramatic yelling of Maya yelling Damon's name is so cheesy. But hey, Power Rangers. We've always been known, this show has always been known for cheesy acting. For 30 years at this, well, 25 if you count this season, and it's cheesy acting at times. Now, the cave entrance where Corone, when she was Astronema, with the armored warrior. Okay, so I think what they kind of did was they just have the actor probably like they just had to do some photoshopping of him looking like a stone statue, and then see how long he'll probably stand there and not move. Or they actually did do a stone model of the actor, of the stoned armor warrior, and then when he's back human and not and free from his armor, free from his stone self. I think that's what they did. And one of the few things that I did tackle about the season every time I talk about it is, aside from themes of sacrifice and loss and redemption, you do have some moments of forgiveness. You do have some moments of where you have characters forgive each other, forgive that character for the wrongdoing. And this episode was a very famous example of Corone forgiving the armored warrior for what she has done when she was Astronema in the past. And I like that Lost Galaxy tackled on themes of forgiveness. And I wish that if they did more of that, I mean, but again, we had so much character deaths left and right in this show. And it was just like, I wish we had more of that forgiving and forgive and forget. And I'm happy that they actually tackle on some of that with Corone. And well, we almost nearly got that with Trecheron when he was on his last breath of fighting Leo back in Shark Attack. But Trecheron was loyal, but he was a treacherous traitor, and he had to die. That's why he was named Trecheron. As for Villamax, while he was loyal to Trakina and he was very villainous and chivalrous and also honorable to his queen, but we saw how he betrayed her, and we almost nearly saw any redemption for him. And there could have been a way they could have broke Villamax from his evil, brainwashed ways, just like they almost could have did with Ecliptor, but they tried that with Ecliptor. They tried it with Villamax. But hey, Power Ranger villains have to stay evil for the hell of being evil, because that's the show for you, and the dynamic between good versus evil, right? And is that a Tommy gun kind of barrel thing around that piece of machinery? But it just seeing that piece of the where Maya and Damon are hiding behind of, it just looks like something from a Tommy gun. Yeah, smooth move of using the jet jammer to ram him to the stomach and try to stop him. Yeah, nice move for that. And now, the moment I've been waiting for to talk about more about with the Battleizer again. Honestly, they only did this for toy sales, and because of course Power Rangers for the last 30 years, well, say for Cosmic Fury, has always been a kid show designed to sell toys. But the toy they sold from this episode and for the last few episodes that it appeared on, I have never been a fan of this Battleizer, and 25 years later, I kind of regret ever getting a toy of this thing. And it just like, there was just something about this Battleizer that just ticked me off and rubbed me off the wrong way. Similar, and Carter's Trans Armor Cycle Battleizer is just as bad as this, but Lost Galaxy's Battleizer was just not that cool to me, with the gauntlet claw, the big ass rotor arm thing, and that laser lock missile thing that faces his face. And I just never really was a fan of this thing. Even when I got the toy of it back in the day, I was just never a fan of this thing. I wish they could have adapted that Conquering Armor Battleizer from the toys, which I've been saying for years, instead. But what the heck, this is their show. They did what they wanted 25 years ago. Maybe I should just stop complaining for once. But I just think that it was nice to show off the Battleizer, but I'm just not a big fan of this thing. I just never was a big fan of the Battleizer design for Lost Galaxy. They could have made something better for Leo, and not whatever this jet rocket looking Battleizer with the claw thing. And well, there was a reason for this. Story wise, after this episode, the real reason they designed this, because by the point they were doing episodes like this in the Captain Mutiny episodes, they did these episodes just so they could save a lot of money for the big all-out ending. And that was one of the reasons why they had to come up with this design and come up with this Battleizer. One more big toy to sell before the show was over. And then we move on straight to Lightspeed Rescue. So, yeah, I get that, but I just was never a fan of the thing. I'm sorry. And of course, the only reason they created the Battleizer, story-wise, is for when we get to the final episode, when Leo has his final showdown with Trakina, is to use the Battleizer to destroy her. And actually, after he destroyed her, presumably and allegedly, that was the end of that Battleizer. I never did like that damn thing. Okay, the show likes to poke fun at Damon because he's the only token black dude in the cast, and the girls have their little fun, cake and eat it too. Take a water hose and do something bad just for funsies, just to joke around, just to screw with the guys. I get it. Okay, now Maya wants to do some lesing thing with Corone, huh? So much for all the lesing out you've been doing with Kendricks. See, and then they go water hosing on Damon. Ha ha, this is funny. Black man gets soaked. Ha ha. And then that face he makes, that's worth making memes. That is so dank. And then they soak not just him, but the rest of the guys too. Ha ha. Kai gets soaked more. Ha ha. Yeah, I think this was a great way to close out Corona's redemption story and the rest of the in space arc. So the rest of Lost Galaxy is what it is, and actually there is a next time on Power Rangers segment, but I think it was cut from what I recall from the broadcast version of the episode, because I thought there would be no next time on Power Rangers segment for Turn Up the Volume, but guess what? There is one. I just didn't see that when I was a kid because I didn't see that. This was one of the few episodes of Lost Galaxy I did not watch when it initially aired. I would catch up on it sometime later in reruns or something, because back then when I was a kid, I had a doctor's appointment or whatever going on, as I remember in retrospect. So there's my commentary. Next time I will skip on the Captain Mutiny episode, not where we're talking about, and go straight to the end of the journey with the Galaxy Rangers to close out the 25th anniversary. So I'm taking a hiatus from these commentaries until then.